So just want to come on and make a video. Yeah, I know I don't really do the vlog thing much. I don't really do it like that. But I want to make a video, right? Because there's something on my mind. So for those of you that don't know, I started working for RTI as a lease operator. I know a lot of you don't like the idea of lease operator. There's a lot of things wrong with it. I understand. I agree. But it seemed for the time being, it seems like a good company. I haven't had any major problems. I did have an issue that I did brought up recently. So most of you know the Asian Mai. You're probably familiar with that. He's like the trucking news network. And I did send him a post anonymously, right? And it had nothing to do with the fact of why I was sending to him personally. I think most of the reason why I asked him to be anonymous is just so that way I didn't get any lashback for my opinion or asking opinions of others on RTI. The question I had posed to him, right? Recently we got messages, at least I don't know about the company side. On the lease side, we got messages from our DM saying that now once a month, they're gonna be asking for us to take a picture of the inside of our trucks and send it to them. Now, as you see, inside of my truck is fairly clean. Ain't nothing a mess. We keep our truck really clean as much as we can. Floors is pretty clean. No problem. I don't got no problem with that, right? If I were to go to the inspection station, they check my truck and they're like, we need to see if it's clean, by all means. No problems. And I think a lot of things were taken out of context when I sent it to Asian Mai, right? So one of the things I asked him was to ask others, do they think it's personally an invasion of privacy? Now, understandably, I understand a lot of comments, saying like, until I pay off that truck, it's RTI's truck, which technically that could be argued because all of our trucks that we lease are from Ryder. So that could be argued. But I understand what people say. I've seen it myself. I recovered trucks. They were completely dirty. They were completely disgusting. That's not the problem I have. The problem I have is contract-wise, not for a lot of you company guys. A lot of company guys won't understand this. For the lease side, when we get our trucks, before we even get our trucks, we signed a whole bunch of contracts detailing steps, company policies, regulations, things on how we have to run our ELDs, we have to run our cameras in the trucks, front, driver facing, rear facing, speeds, all that. We go all of it on the contract. One of the things that they never mentioned on the contract, despite the fact that we keep the truck clean, one of the things they never mentioned on the contract was the cleanliness. This thing. The reason why I say, to me, it feels like an invasion of privacy, and it feels like the company just essentially wanting to show their hand and show how big boss they are, is if they would have told me that before I got the truck and it was on the contract, I would have been like, okay, no problem. Me and my wife keep our truck clean all the time. We fairly OCD, so especially my wife. My wife is bad at it. She's OCD. We keep the truck clean. But the fact that it's been a few months down the line and now suddenly this is coming up, it's a bit of a problem with me. Like, again, I have no problem sending the pictures. We keep our trucks clean. That's not the matter. I think for me, it's the matter of principle, because if you agree that it's okay for companies to start suddenly putting rules down on a contract that because I got a business. I got my business doing business with RTI. So if you agree that the fact, no matter what, because they technically own the title to the truck, that they can pose any type of rules and regulations out of nowhere on me that's not FMCSA required and it's not on my contract, that's where I see that invasion, that problem coming in, right? On top of that, as I've stated before, I put down, they kind of give us a bonus when we start off. They give it to, I think, all drivers. They give it to lease operators. That bonus that they give goes towards my my, so to speak, down payment. On top of the bonus, I also pay a $750 pet fee. So that already negates a lot of the arguments. So, people with their pets and whatnot. First of all, as you see, we got leather seats. We have a cat. We clean up after our cat consistently. We have, her, the litter right? We don't have a sand type of litter. We have a type of material that kind of like pellets. They don't break up. We have these, I don't know. Let me see if I can get it for you. If I can reach it. Let's see. Cut that. All right. We have this. We have this thing. We use it every day. We use it every day. Sprays. We use it every day. We have little broom and scoops. We clean out our truck. So that is no problem. I also understand them wanting to take pictures to make sure there's no holes, no bolts and whatnot. That's part of the policy we sign. Like I said, again, the problem is I already put down a $3,500 deposit that says that it covers any damages to the truck, which I don't intend to do, and it covers any type of detailing that they have to do to the truck if I were to leave any messes. On top of that, like I said, $750 pet fee. Me and my wife essentially live out of the truck, right? We got, when we started trucking, or last year when we got into certain trucking companies, we decided it makes no sense to have an apartment. We never go home. So we live out of the truck, right? As you can see, all of our stuff up there. But on top of that, with her being with me, I also paid $25 a week fee for my passenger. So by the time I'm done with this lease, I will have put out more than unnecessary deposits. What's the word I'm looking for? Essentially, I would have just been putting down a whole bunch of unnecessary deposit fees. On top of that, most lease companies have a stipulation that say if you were to damage or damage their truck, which includes leaving messes in any way, they can then charge you that extra amount for it. So with that being said, I see that being the problem. That's why I asked Asian Mai. Now, granted, I appreciate all the opinions. I appreciate different things. I think the problem comes. I think the problem comes. So one of the things that kind of irritated me is, if you know YouTube and you've made YouTube videos, you know all the times thumbnails aren't always a thumbnail, right? There's not specifically. Now, I could have worded my words better when I sent him the message, of course, and there's no fault to Asian Mai. It should have been me, but certain things I said were sarcastic, right? Like, for example, I made the joke that, for every time I send a picture, am I gonna have to, put my wife's underwear up? Now, that's not to say that my wife, clearly, you can see, we don't leave our underwear all around and whatnot. That was meant to be a kind of a joke. We used to live in a society where women's undergarments used to be a private thing, and so that was me saying that, so to speak, to be like, well, now I have to go put up my private items just to hide it from you, and my medicines, my things, so that way I can keep my level of privacy. Like some of y'all even made the joke, like, about a sex doll being in the back, whatever. I found that shit hilarious. But it's the fact of the matter, like, again, there's no rule that says that I need to show you the inside of my truck. Now, I know a lot of y'all gonna say, well, you're making a video, so that kind of defeats the purpose. I think that's not the problem. If they said, hey, every 3 months, before you come in to do an inspection, you want to take a picture, or when you do come in, we expect the truck to be clean, by all means. I'm fully in for that rule. Like, let the truck be clean. I keep my truck clean. I think all truckers should keep their truck clean. But for you to say that every month you need a video, or not a video, a picture for me to see how clean I keep the truck, like I said, that I think it's not even just about the invasion of privacy. It's the principle of companies just constantly putting their foot down on drivers and telling you what you can and cannot do. And a lot of y'all who are company drivers, y'all just let it happen. The point is, for a lot of us that are lease operators, our business to business, we sign contracts that stipulates what we can and what we cannot do. So that's why I just want to make this video, get some of y'all opinions and clarify. I kind of want to see what y'all think at the end of the day. But I wanted to make sure I came on. I didn't want to be anonymous anymore, because I just didn't, like I said, I wanted to clarify some of the things that I guess weren't too noted. I guess that's it.